Our love for the Volkswagen GTI is genuine, long-standing, and well-documented. Indeed, since VW's little firecracker first arrived on our shores 35 years ago as a Rabbit hatchback with a bit more hop, we've found ourselves searching for new and creative ways to issue the same effusive praise. Over the years, the GTI has been featured in dozens of reviews and comparison tests, and it has landed on our 10 best cars list 15 times, including the past 12 years straight. And this review will be no different, mostly. Highs brilliantly balanced, stealthily styled, manually shifted. Lows overshadowed by the Golf R, sterile design, pricey and autobahn trim. For even deeper coverage of the GTI, view our buyer's guide in-depth review. Refreshed for 2018 along with the entire Golf lineup, the GTI remains as delightful as ever, with its minor styling and equipment changes having no ill effect on its dynamic brilliance. VW's engineers and designers executed the GTI update with a deft touch, tweaking the front and rear styling, reworking the innards of the headlamps to accommodate new LED elements standard on SE and Autobahn models, and updating the tail lamp graphics to be more horizontal in appearance. Meanwhile, VW dropped the sport trim level in the available performance package while making the latter's electronic limit slip differential and larger brake rotors from the Golf R standard on the mid-range GTI SE and the range-topping GTI Autobahn. For 2018 the equipment rosters got longer, too, and the cheerful turbocharged 2.0-litre inline four under the hood of every GTI now makes the same 220 horsepower at 4,700 revolutions per minute and 258 lb-ft of torque at a remarkably low 1,500 revs. The case for the GTI Autobahn model tested here now rests on the appeal of its standard 3-mode adaptive dampers, now including a new comfort mode, a small army of active safety features including forward collision warning with automated emergency braking and pedestrian detection, parking assist, lane departure warning, and automatic high beams, and numerous creature comforts. Those comforts include the largest standard infotainment screen of the GTI lot, 8.0 inches with navigation, adaptive cruise control, leather, Fender-branded audio system, dual-zone automatic climate control, a 12-way power driver's seat, and an auto-dimming rear-view mirror. All of that will set buyers back $35,920, or $4,600 more than the 2018 GTI SE, which, incidentally, recently emerged victorious over the Honda Civic C in a comparison test. There are no extra cost options save for the $1,100 6-speed dual-clutch gearbox that's one of the few automatics we can recommend as an enthusiast-worthy alternative to a manual. GTI Autobahn buyers have one other choice to make, one with substantial performance consequences, and it's one that enthusiasts should be able to make in their sleep. Do they drive off with the standard 22540R18 Hankook Ventos S1 Noble 2 or season tires, or have VW swap them out for Bridgestone Potenza S001 summer tires at no charge? This test car arrived wearing the compromised all seasons. Combine that with the numerous in-carbon indulgences bloating its weight to 3,221 pounds, 105 more than the 2017 GTI Sport model with a performance package that we tested last year, and 37 pounds heavier than the comparo-winning 2018 GTI SE, and nearly every performance metric suffered. Its 6.0 second 0 to 60 mph time and 14.5 second quarter-mile result at 100 miles per hour trails the summer should say by a few tenths from 60 miles per hour all the way up to the car's governed 125 miles per hour top speed. It was a similar story with road holding. The Autobahn's 0.89 grams of grip on the skid pad isn't terrible, unless you compare it to the 0.95 grams registered by the SE on its summer rubber. And this car's stopping distance from 70 miles per hour, a Toyota Camry like 174 feet, fade-free, at least, was 13 feet longer than the SE and a huge 20 feet farther than the GTI Sport we tested last year. And remember, this one has the Golf R's bigger brakes. The good news is these differences don't seem so considerable from behind the wheel. The GTI's reflexes remain sharp and the throttle response immediate, and acceleration is accompanied, as always, by a wonderfully auto yet not antisocial exhaust note. With the standard adaptive dampers, the Autobahn rides more like a $70,000 luxury sedan than a performance car derived from an economical hatchback, yet the dampers seem to keep the body flat and planted, especially in the car's sport driving mode. While the steering is a little light in normal mode, Sport firms things up while adding some weight back to the steering, and as always we're eminently happy with how much feel comes through the rim. The new infotainment system adds that much more sophistication to the Autobahn's feature-rich, level-lined, panoramic-roofed cabin. It's possibly the most mature GTI we've ever tested. We're not sure that maturity is what the GTI should be about. Indeed, we think that GTI is best when it's quite the opposite. But since the Mk7 arrived for 2015 on VW's Mk1 modular architecture, its sense of solidity and newfound niceties have been trying to fool us into thinking it's actually an Audi A3. But the 6-speed manual transmission with its dimpled, spherical shift knob is the perfect antidote. Call us old-fashioned, but we still like to use both arms and both legs when we bomb down a twisty to-down or tear-up a track. And while we continue to feel that the clutch pedal travels a touch too far during engagement, the shifter action is sublime, as are the sport seats with their abundant lateral support and long aisle comfort. Tire conundrum aside, we still consider the GTI to be the veritable definition of hot hatch, so it's a little ironic that there's not much sizzle in the styling. Its squarish hatchback profile that yields crossover-like cargo space hasn't changed much since the Mk5 GTI debuted for 2006. And with its new lighting, air intakes, and other graphic elements now consisting primarily of horizontal lines and 60-degree angles, some feel it looks almost too robotic. Out on the road, the only people who look twice at the GTI are drivers of other GTIs. That said, it can be driven like the General Lee without inviting much attention from the local constabulary, and that's a good thing. As delightful as the Autobahn's many frills may be, we're not sure they're worth the addition of $4,600 over the say. We still love it, we just love it more with plaid seats and a bit less luxury.